Hi.
Hi, Tamanna. Hi.
I hope now the sound is fine.
Yes,
There's no
there is
background.
sound. Yes,
Okay. So let's wait for 2 minutes because it got disconnected, so I have to restarted it. So let's wait for 2 minutes.
yes, that's fine. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is,
How are you doing?
so I was going to ask you the same thing. I'm doing
I'm
well. How are you doing?
I am also doing very good.
I think I'm seeing you after 1.5 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. I will just wait for another 1 minute, then we will start.
Yeah, that's fine.
So how did COVID treated you? How was your life during COVID?
Um, in the first wave, honestly, I think I'm like, I enjoy contemplation, reflection, isolation, not talking to anyone face to face. So I really enjoyed the lockdown, figured out a lot of things that I wouldn't have in a busy life, in a conventionally busy life.
Yeah.
So I really liked it, but the second wave was really tough because I did lose uh, two people who were extended family, and that was hard. But then it so has it been for everyone. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. That was a tough. Let's see. I hope third wave doesn't come.
yes. But then they are predicting it will come. So someone has asked
Yeah.
today's theme, so you can
It's
let me know.
self-help. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
think you
I will
should start.
start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome you all. Hope you guys are doing very well. So, Manoshala aims to democratize preventive mental health care solutions in India, which not only focuses on clinical therapy, but also focuses on clinical therapy. Here, also focuses on alternative therapy. Sorry. I, Tamanna Rajpal, would be hosting to this live session. I am an expert with Manoshala. My specialization is to work with kids and work on their behavioral issues. And our today's guest is Shristi Asthana. She is an electric psychologist who has 2.5 years of experience. She has worked with over 100 clients and she has done her master's in clinical psychology. So, being a student, professional with a career, or a self employer, whatever you choose to be in life, your self improvement is likely to be a priority for every one of us. In today's live session, we will be talking about self help. So, let's start, Srishti, with the first question.
Yes. Let's get into
Okay.
it. Okay.
So, according to you, what is self-help and why it is important?
Okay. So when I explain through examples and metaphors, so bear with me.
Sure.
Um, when a child is born, right? When he is like, no, I don't remember the exact age when he starts walking, but you will be a better, more knowledgeable person for that. So parents teach you how to walk by yourself, and then eventually they encourage you to run by yourself, and then they teach you how to eat by yourself. So you need to add to be a fully functional adult someday. To be a fully functional member of society, you need to know how to help yourself, how to fulfill your own needs. Now those needs involve fulfilling your emotional and mental and psychological needs. So self-help is basically any act of you know learning how to sustain yourself as a fully functioning member of society as an adult. It is very, very important. And an adult who does not learn how to self help, uh, they find it difficult to cope up, basically, with life's ups and downs. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So why does so what does self-help mean in the terms of mental health?
Right. In terms of mental health, again, going back to my previous definition, it's like you have some emotional and mental needs. There are a lot of skills that go into taking care of your own emotional needs. There are self-soothing strategies. Like, for example, like when I am emotionally aroused, when something messed up happens to me, I feel uh, all these negative thoughts start rushing, all these negative emotions start flooding. So am I able to calm myself and bring myself into a space of balance to make rational decisions again? Um, or when I feel like I'm at a low point and I need energy to get up and going again. So if I have good self-help skills, I'm able to, work through these situations and move forward to the next part. Otherwise, when you don't have good self-help systems in place for yourself, uh, through these challenging situations, somewhere you feel stuck and you feel like then it becomes overbearing and overwhelming and it becomes very debilitating. Yeah.
Okay. So how can we learn techniques of self-help for depression and anxiety?
Now this is like a more, a lot of psychologists are debating that, we are putting out self-help resources and because it sounds so diluted down that people, when they hear it in therapy, they're like, ye to pata hai, aage badho, you know. So definitely, self-help is a part of coping up for every human being, regardless of their diagnosis. For each individual, it is a different kind of system that should be in place. It also depends on what kind of resources they already have. Like, for example, uh, to cope up, what are the various strategies that I employ as a person. So with, when there's a clinical disorder, when there is clinical depression or clinical anxiety, then I need to analyze, first of all, I need therapy. Okay. In therapy, there will be customized self-help tools that are given to you. Customized self-soothing strategies that work to you specifically, that will be assigned to you, and the therapist along with you will develop that system with and for you, so that you are able to manage your condition better. So self-help in clinical disorder will, it is actually no different from what you, I think, would want a regular person for it to be a part of their day-to-day life as well. There are so many techniques, there are mindfulness-based practices which are already good to enhance existing well-being for anyone. But when you have a mental health condition, it becomes like a it should be, you should be, one has to become more proactive in those coping strategies. So there comes mindfulness-based techniques, the art of sitting with yourself, the art of reflection, the art of being able to detach from your thoughts, because then your thoughts spiral out of control somewhere or the other. When you have anxiety or when you have depression, then there is low mood. So activities like mindfulness, they help with the neurochemicals and the headspace and the brain chemistry, etc. And there are a lot of other strategies like journaling, and these are extremely basic. People are actually even tired of hearing of these strategies. So that is why I feel therapy is absolutely mandatory and necessary. One of the most important ways of self help is actually going to therapy. You know, so I think the first route to self help is going to therapy and find, like, customizing a plan and a program for you instead of like waiting it out. I believe so. It can. I think it's a very, very, very broad topic. It's just I don't know how to like specifically pinpoint what kind of self help goes into. So I think it can be divided into two parts. What should I remove from myself and what should I add to myself? So when you're removing, so if you have a clinical disorder and a condition, then you have to remove some habits. If you smoke, if you consume alcohol frequently, if your diet routine pattern is not good, if you don't expose yourself to sunlight, and if you don't take vitamin D, if you as it is when you if you have a clinical condition, you cut off from people. You have all these distorted thoughts that tell you that, oh, I cannot reach out, I cannot seek help. So you are withdrawing. So then we come to what to add. So proactively pushing yourself to take small steps towards socializing, maybe not in and out every day, kind of a thing, but small steps towards socializing and understanding that there are some people in my life who will genuinely listen to me, who will be there for me, who will support me. So proactively taking those steps towards, uh, you know, like when you're talking to a friend, it's not always to seek help, you know. It is that feeling of belongingness and that social support that is innately present if you're connecting with the right people, you know. So if you're
Yeah.
compatible with your friendships, with your partner, with your family members, etc., the other person doesn't have to uh, learn, research or uh, do a lot. I think, of course, they have to learn about the clinical condition, but they don't have to uh, try too hard, because that belongingness is naturally there. That feeling of oneness is there in society. So adding these elements and staying in touch with people who are important. Then reading self-help books, I think that is very, very important. Self-help books are brilliant. I mean, people suggest a lot of self-help books, and even on my blog I write a lot about self-help books and which ones are I enjoy. So um they have a lot of tools and strategies. I think as I sit here, like right in front of me, there are some 15 20 self-help books, and I can probably show them to you as well. So I think there is Ikigai, which is not self-help by the way directly, but then it is there. Then there is You Can Heal Your Life. There is The Power of Habits, Atomic Habits, Habits of Highly Effective People, all these books. And then there is this one book that I think I'll really recommend to people. It's called Elephant in the Storeroom. Yeah. It's by actually one of my professors. It's on forgiveness. So understanding कि आप जो self help routine बना रहे हैं, if you have an clinical issue or if you have any kind of a thing that disturbs you excessively. So what is the theme? What is the content of my thoughts? What is the content of my emotions? What is disturbing me? If I'm unhappy professionally, or if I'm stuck in an abusive relationship, there is something that is specifically triggering me in the environment. So finding a book which is specific to that kind of a challenge, and trying to soak in some wisdom from that, that becomes very, very important, So addressing the core underlying issue, and you can always get insight from good books. And even if you don't like learning, then I think doing research on people who've been in similar circumstances, and there's a lot of TEDx speakers shaming these days. There's a
Yeah.
lot of shaming of people who come out with their stories. I don't understand that. People who are voicing their insecurities, or people who are voicing their life stories, I think it's more inspiring than troubling. But yeah, they need to censor that their content. They need to say, I'm not a mental health professional and this is discretion should be practiced. That is important. But people, a common person coming and saying that I struggled and I survived this and this is how I did it. I don't see the problem with that, to be honest. So, I mean, different people will have different perspectives, but this is my take on it personally. So, zeroing in on what are the patterns of my life that are keeping me, like for example, I am continuously dating people back to back who are not interested in me, who won't invest. I want to get married, but again and again, I'm choosing someone who is barely dating me, who's barely giving me any attention. Okay. So there is a pattern right there, and that is keeping me in my mess. Okay. So, अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि वो बार बार रिपीट हो रहा है, तो आई नीड टू प्रिवेंट दैट. आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द डीप रूटेड इशू देयर दैट इज अट्रैक्टिंग मी टू द सेम पर्सन. सो इंट्रोस्पेक्शन एंड रिफ्लेक्शन आर द core elements of good self-help practice. Sitting down with yourself I think lockdown mein one thing I hope people have learned is how to sit down with themselves, because in a normal life you get to run away from your inner thoughts a lot, but you can't do that. You couldn't do that in the lockdown. So now that you survived it, and ऐसा नहीं है कि आपके पास escape strategies नहीं थे तो खत्म हो गए, you survived it as a human being. So making introspection and reflection a part of your lifestyle is the most important part of self-help. So, off the top of my head, these are some factors like social belongingness and journaling and mindfulness and contemplation and reflection, reading self-help books, listening to good things. Like you're consuming media. You are watching Netflix and Amazon Prime, and I just saw a meme that said that, oh, therapy is too expensive. I'm watching Friends for the ninth time, and I'm like, you'll be watching Friends for the 100th time, and you'll still be feeling this way. Because
Yeah.
that is escapism, right? That is not a good self-soothing or self-help strategy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do not remember the point which I was going to make with this example, but I'm just saying that this is the kind of a thought process people have, and self-help practices are extremely important.
Okay. This is
Yeah,
something very different from our topic, but I really want to know one thing that a
yeah.
lot of time it is said that what we watch, we act like that. There have been times that
Yes,
what
this
we
is what I
watch,
was trying to say. Yeah. Thank
so,
you.
uh, so I really want to like, is it like this ki if you're watching continuously something little fighting things or something related to negative emotions, so does this happen with us also that we also start feeling that?
I'll just give you a simple example. I think when you were a kid, tab to obviously, like, I mean, you had that incident where a kid was watching Shaktiman and then he jumped off the terrace. That, as a
Yeah,
child, you're very much impressionable. As an adult,
yeah,
it's not like that. It's more subtle, it's more subconscious. Because we have entire therapy center, narrative therapies identifying कि आपकी narrative में आपने किसको इतना idealize कर लिया कि subconsciously want to live out a life like that you know and another example of this, which is unrelated to the point I just made, is like there was this phase where I was binge watching a haunting, which is a really, I mean, I'm really interested in that genre. That is my time pass. So a haunting was in Discovery. I would watch it every day and I would watch it to sleep. Like one day I woke up in the middle of night and I felt like there's someone in the room, you know. So, am I crazy? Absolutely not. No, it's just that subconsciously I fell asleep to that, and it was the show was still playing in the background because I recorded it on my Tata Sky and it was just playing for hours. So my brain was kind of absorbing that information, right? Whatever I expose myself to over and over and over again, that and pop culture or popular culture, we are highly influenced by it. Popular culture is highly influenced by whatever media there is. A lot of people say कि यार फ्रेंड्स बड़ा cool है, How I Met Your Mother बहुत cool है. I think and everyone is kind of like impressed with those characters and they relate with those characters, and they even say excuses are I'm a Chandler, I have commitment issues, when I find my Monica I'll be okay. It does not happen in real life. Real life में आपको proactively खुद पे काम करना पड़ता है. Automatically आपको आपकी मोनिका नहीं मिलती, right? So definitely media and what you consume has a deep rooted impact, which is not obvious directly, but more or less it will be. You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And one more question. I know I'm going away from the topic, but so there is a stigma that a psychologist can't go to a counselor to counsel herself or himself. Like, अरे हम तो psychologist, आप तो psychologist है, आपको क्यों counselor की जरूरत है या आपको क्यों counseling की जरूरत है? So how we can make people understand that being a psychologist doesn't mean we can't go to a counselor or we can't go and counsel, मतलब we can't go for the sessions. How we can explain that to everyone?
Okay, first of all, in I think in Freudian or psychoanalytical school of thought, the more you go into that school of thought, अगर आप hardcore उसी में training कर रहे हैं, so that school of thought is like first you need to work through your own stuff, then you can be a good
Yeah.
therapist. And I think all classical schools of thought in counseling practice or therapy practice involves you working through your own baggage so that you don't bring in anything into the therapy, so that you're eliminating the chances of counter transference, कि आपको क्लाइंट पे अपना भाई बहन माँ बाप ना दिखने लगे, आप उसके सफरिंग से रिलेट ना करने लगो. तो उसके लिए जितना लेवल ऑफ ऑब्जेक्टिविटी चाहिए होता है, जहाँ पे आप एम्पथाइज कर रहे हो और सिंपथाइज नहीं कर रहे, उसके लिए आपको अपने अंदर का जितना बैगेज है दैट यू हैव टू रिमूव एंड लेट गो ऑफ. And you can do it like as therapists, so psychology students, you understand कि अच्छा ये है, and सबके life में there is some suffering, right? Everyone's parent has messed up in some way, right? That's the big truth of being human. So everyone has to deal with their own baggage before they go out and try to help other people. I think some of the best therapists I know are very self-aware people who have proactively worked on their issues, who have sought help when they needed it, right? So I think the moment a psychology student is about to end masters, they should go for therapy. I think it is great practice, and you become more empathetic towards the entire process of counseling. You understand कि अलग अलग stages पे client को क्या feel होता है, and when you are on the journey of self healing as well, you just learn way more because you're curious and passionate about healing yourself, and the wisdom you collect on that journey, from your own individual journey. You're not doing self disclosure. आप वहां पे जाके speech नहीं दोगे मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ था. But you know the tools and the techniques and you see them failing and you see them working. You know. Like for example, journaling is something that I was like, yeah, I'm journaling. Kya? Then I've been in therapy. I am in therapy. And most good therapists that I know are in therapy. So she asked me to journal, and I'm like, फिर वही बकवास. And I mean, I'm a therapist. I know it is something that is proven, but and I write a lot. I enjoy writing.
Yeah, I know
So,
that.
but it did sense to me. But yeah, I think like intellectually, you're like, I understand journaling से कुछ होता है. But आपको वो intellectual quotient side रख के actually में उस activity and exercise में indulge करना होता है, right? You have to be emotionally present where you're doing these techniques, and then your therapist helps you in reaching that place where you're not looking at everything in an extremely intellectual way that can be damaging. So that is how it is. And every
Okay,
therapist
thank
should see a
you.
therapist.
Yeah, I agree to it. I have also been to therapy, so I agree to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what point we should limit our self-help and take another's other assistance?
Definitely, I think it's very, very important. Like, we need to know that there is sometimes everyone needs help. Each and every human being on the planet needs help sometimes. And as much as we want our loved ones deliver and support us and fill our voids, it's not going to happen because each individual is on their own journey of learning and pain and ups and downs. So when it gets overbearing and when the people are in our environment are not able to help us, we need a healthy space. We need to find someone who is objective, who is detached, but completely invested in the process and has the right knowledge and tools and won't get biased and won't get judgmental. And um, when things start to get overbearing, and I think don't even wait for things to get overbearing, know that, okay, I'm in this situation. I feel like this is a little bit too much and it's going in the wrong direction. This can derail my mental health and like my life. Then I should seek help immediately. So self help का भी एक limitation आ जाता है कि um, don't bank upon it even when you're absolutely even when it's failing you, even if you're like, हाँ हम सेल्फ हेल्प कर रहे हैं, हम सुबह उठने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, हम एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, हम सब कर लिया, हमने सब देख लिया, बट कुछ नहीं चेंज आ रहा, which means there's some deep rooted issue that a professional can help you in bringing out, you know so आपने सब करके देख लिया बट नहीं हो रहा, तो please go seek therapy. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the last question. I would request audience if they have any question from us, so you can answer that. So I would request them, and I would wait for like 2 minutes.
I think there was a question.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm a psychologist and I'm facing issues to get employed. Can I get some suggestions? It will be really helpful. Hi, Gunjan, if you're still there, please check out my profile. There is a highlight called For Psychologists, and I made videos on these topics, so please check it out. यार ये
And you can also connect with Manoshala also. They can
yes,
also
definitely.
help you out.
Yeah.
So till the time audience is asking questions from us, I would want to ask, like I saw you have a white background. So, and I have
White
like,
background?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but I do see the photos, but like there is
Yeah.
a white. And I have also seen that whenever it comes to a mental health world or mental health organization or any workplace, there is a very subtle color. There is no dark color in the room or something. So I would want to know why this happened, that how colors define it, that why should we have a subtle color? Like this is just a question, like till the time audience are asking us questions.
So this is my work from home office, and for some reason, it is a tradition to only have cream-colored white walls. I never questioned it, and I'm used to it now. That is the reason behind my white wall. But that being said, you're absolutely right. I think colors do have impact on our mood. It is not very research evidence-based practice. I think उस पे अभी research होना है इस topic पे. It is questionable, the research background, but कहीं ना कहीं, colors do have some kind of an effect. Like for example, किसी के लिए gray color can be like, oh, so classy, elegant. किसी के लिए gray can be, oh, this is so boring and dull, you know. And then like when you're wearing a certain color, people compliment you and you feel like more energetic. And then there are some colors where you feel like, I don't look my best. So I just think that colors can bring out some kind of mood in you. And I think light colors are good. They calm your headspace. And that is why I guess people go for lighter colors in practice.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So we didn't
Yeah.
got any questions from the audience as well. So I would want like let's end the session. Any tips you want to give to our audience
Just go to
before we end
therapy.
this?
Everyone go to therapy. Contact Manoshala, they will help you out. You can DM me, I'll help you out. I'm not saying I'll give you therapy, I'm just saying I'll connect you with the right therapist, and Manoshala will also guide you. There's nothing wrong with therapy, and everyone should go with it to become your best version. If you don't have issues that are pressing and जरूरी नहीं कि आपकी जिंदगी में सब कुछ fall apart कर रहा है तभी आप therapy में जा रहे हो. You can also take that guidance for improvement and betterment. And it is coming from a source that is educated to guide you in your highest interest without being biased or invested in it in emotionally or in any other ways. So yeah, that is what I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Shristi. And I would really want to thank you from Manushala's side for coming for the live session and helping our audience, making them aware about self-care. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye. Take care.
Bye bye. Have a nice
Bye.
weekend. Bye.
Same to you. Bye.